to Mewsic Theory. This is episode 3. I'm your host, Ben Abrahamson, here for your weekly dose of harmony, music, and guitar questions on the interwebs. Welcome my co-host, Phoebe, inspired by my good friend Evan Montgomery, who is a fantastic guitarist and teacher in the Los Angeles area. I will initiate today's chord challenge with the B11 flat 13 over G sharp chord that I just learned. I hope that it will be useful for your improvisations and songwriting. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh! Wasn't exactly what I had hoped. Christine on Instagram asks about sharping the 13. Well, Christine, thanks for your question. This is one of those bizarre and anti-ergonomic aspects of music nomenclature. To guitar players, the 13 is synonymous with the 6th note in any scale. Sharping the 6th would actually produce the 7th. So we would call the chord a 7th chord in that case rather than a sharp 13. This brings up a very good and very common question on chord nomenclature, which is certainly not the most transparent subject. Anytime we have a chord name such as G6, A flat 13, D7 sharp 9, the number after the letter refers to a note or multiple notes that have been added to the chord to produce a more complex flavor. Hey, don't bite that. If we're talking about a single pitch, C3, for example, this simply refers to the note C in the 3rd octave of the range that we have available. See what I mean? Hey, don't eat that. What are you eating? Gross. Hey, that's my recorder. No, don't do that. Hey, that's not a toy. Balsa Dust on Instagram asks about the E major 7 add 6 chord in the song Lenny by the great guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughn. Stevie, what are you doing? Thanks for your question, Balsa Dust. This again brings up the anti-intuitive, anti-human, and generally anti-fun nature of music. An E major 7 add 6 chord is most often called an E major 13. For example, if we took a C major 7th chord, that is a C major chord, with the 7th note in a C scale, your familiar do, re, mi from grade school, the result would be the following sound. Chord extensions, numbers 9, 11, or 13 following the letter name of the chord, are simply octave higher duplicates of the 2nd, 4th, or 6th scale degrees that you could add to that chord. For example, if we took our C major 7th chord, and we added the 9th to it, that is the 2nd scale degree, but simply an octave higher, the resulting flavor would sound like that, and we would call it a C major 9 chord, rather than a C major 7 add 9 chord. Here's the fingering used by guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughn in this song Lenny for that E major 13 chord. I personally would have recommended the Alexander technique, or extra strength bungee chords, rather than years and years of dedicated practice to playing the bejesus out of the blues. The fingering that Stevie Ray appears to use for this E major 13 chord is as follows. Finger 2, 7th fret, low E string. Finger 1, 6th fret, 4th string. Finger 3, 8th fret, 3rd string. Bar across strings 1 and 2 at the 9th fret with finger 4, the pinky. Guitarist Paul Horn on YouTube asks about how to write classical guitar as rhythm guitar, played fingerstyle, not just oversimplified arpeggios, but more complex fingerstyle rhythms. This is an excellent question. There's a fascinating book by the guitarist Ralph Towner from the group Oregon called Improvisation and Performance Techniques for Classical and Acoustic Guitar. Although it's now out of print, I'm sure you can find PDFs online. There are a whole host of useful and fun fingerstyle patterns and exercises within the book that you can use to develop your own improvisation for accompanying a song. A very simple approach, which you can use to generate a wide variety of ideas in all different kinds of music, is the banjo approach. Notice there is no banjo in sight, nor any of the thinly veiled threats from loved ones, neighbors, and small animals that accompany banjo playing. The most common example would be a 3-note pattern over a 4/4 pulse. Thanks again for listening. This has been Mewsic Theory, Episode 3. Please post any theory, guitar or technique related questions you might have in the comments below, and be sure to hit subscribe. See you again soon. Did you enjoy that, Phoebes? You gonna take a nap? Was that hard work?